Do you feel hunger? Normal human thing. But always hunger in the Gospel of Mark is two things, not just one. Not just filling the belly, but also filling the soul. Filling that connection with God. That's what hunger is all about. That's what true hunger is all about. So one of the stories is told twice in Mark, and indeed it's one of the very few stories that is told in all four of the Gospels, and that is the feeding of the 5,000. All right? All of these people. Nobody came prepared with a picnic lunch. They're so interested in following Jesus, who's going to keep track of time here? Why, he's been talking, and you know, we're hungry. The day is far gone. You're on that hillside there on the northwest side of the Sea of Galilee. And, well, town is a good hike away. Somebody do something. No. Well, what do you have here? Few fish, few loaves of bread. You know, that's nothing with this crowd. You do something, Jesus says to the disciples. You take care of it. Well, no, we can't do anything. We can't do that. And so Jesus takes the bread, blesses it, breaks it, and shares it, and keeps on sharing it. And it keeps being shared, and the disciples are to take it to the crowd, and 5,000 men plus women and children are fed. And they gather up baskets, 12 baskets of leftovers. Do you get it? Do you get what's happening here? These people are being fed, body and spirit, at the same time. And the actions, take note of them. Taking the bread, blessing it, breaking it, sharing it. Where do we hear that again? Well, there's the story of the Last Supper, when Jesus, for the final time, gathers with his disciples to do Passover. And Jesus takes the bread, the Passover bread, and he blesses it, he breaks it, he shares it with his disciples one more time. And he says, I'm going to do this now, not again until I do it in the kingdom. In the kingdom. What in the world are you talking about? Well, what do we do on Sunday morning? We take bread. We bless it. We break it. We share it. And Jesus says, when you're doing that in my name, I am there in that action. In the taking, blessing, breaking, sharing. So we have Jesus and the 5,000, we have Jesus and the disciples, we have Jesus and us. It's all the same meal. It's all the same wonder. Truly, it is. Not just that 5,000 people were fed then, but that Christians continue to be fed yet today. Well, yes, it's not very much bread. It's not very much wine. It's just, we could say, an appetizer of that great banquet that began on that hillside with the 5,000, continues in the Last Supper, and it will be finally brought to completion in the fullness of heaven. This is now just an appetizer. It's just barely enough. It's just enough for us now, enough to keep us going. It's enough for us to say, Jesus, we're trusting that what you say is true, that this truly will be enough for us. Isn't that the most wonderful news that we could hear? This will be enough. This will finally be enough. The Gospel of Mark is very careful not to be telling just a history. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to every reader, every listener, and it's a forecast. It's an anticipation of the final kingdom. And we see that in Jesus and the meals. Jesus feeds us.